Hello beautiful soul, and welcome to my new channel. I've been away from doing this kind of service work for about a year and a half, so this is my first video back, if you like. So I'm going to be committing to doing a reading every day, and that will include channeled information, guidance and healing energies. Alongside that, I also use Oracle and Tarot cards as confirmation and illustration. So let's begin. I was feeling the guidance coming from Lemuria, and specifically water. The quintessence of water is stillness within movement. And the guidance is we are really being called to this balancing of stillness within all this movement at this time. One of the first cards I pulled was this one. It is Channel. You are a channel through which healing energy reaches the world. And so water moves through many channels, and many of us are aware that we are made up of 70% water. And there are many stages that water can exist in this physical realm, and moves through different stages. And one of them, the highest frequency, is plasma and crystalline. Water also holds libraries of information, a record keeper of the soul vibration of all life, and not just on earth. Another card that I pulled was Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. That's really interesting. When I just read that, I thought it was saying time for a deep alive, which comes to the other card I pulled, which is regeneration. It is time that we move into bringing in the sustenance, our soul sustenance. For we are cups of divine frequency that resonate through this whole holy waters of life. And the two cards I picked as well was Soul of Cups, so we definitely keep getting water, which in that pack is page or child. And there is exuberance and joy in the beauty and aliveness and fun, celebration. And alongside that, I've got 10 of Cups, and you've got a beautiful dolphin energy and the rainbow there. So we're transcending, but in the physical, within the physical realm, and in a unique way. Because as individuals, so the earth is unique, and as individuals we hold multidimensional frequency, and so does the planet, the earth. I pulled some other cards. The Chariot. And what's beautiful about that is the wonderful balancing of this energy orb soul at the top there, and receiving multiple light, starlight showering down. But there's a real balancing act, and to me that's an echo of the Fool. And is there not a quote about something about how many angels can dance on the tip of a needle? Or maybe I've made that up. But obviously the tip of a needle from our perspective may seem minute, but when you get, to the molecular and even beyond that into space, but there's infinite space. There's from a dragonfly's perspective, it's vast, for instance. So we got that, the chariots coming to this pinnacle, this peak, and can we dance on that edge? It's a very, very powerful and profound card. It also reminds me of a pyramid there. So there's a lot of trust about A, can we reach there, and B, there's a lot of movement and almost like being able to fly. I know when I watch whether it's ballet or contemporary dance or people that acrobatic movements like in circus, they move as if they're defying gravity. And I'm reminded of how there was this, idea that the runners could not break the 4-minute mile. That was only there was a limit to how fast humans could run, and then one person broke that 4-minute mile, and then on after person was able to do that. So the blocks, the programming, the belief systems that limit us, we are familiar that so much of that is just there for a period of time and can serve us until we need to grow beyond that. So when we're at that place, which we are as humanity, we're at that place of we're now feeling constrained about those ideas, those theories, those beliefs, those systems that once held us are now feeling constraining. And there's a lot of emotion around that. Hence, I think all this regeneration and this flow. With Swan dives deep, can dive deep with its long neck into the depths of the water. And so we're being asked to look beyond the surface, look to who we truly are, beyond all those programmings and systems and beliefs and systems that we thought were the whole truth. We are expanding into choice, because the other card in this pack I got was the Lovers, which is about choice, and again is about holding the balance. In some images of the Lovers you've got one figure who's choosing between two other potential partnerships. With this one there's a beautiful, it's like ribbons of light in the shape of a heart, and a lovely soft movement. So the other card I got was 5 of Cups, which is in the depths. There's the past, there's the cups of what was, and there's a lot of grief of what was, what we're losing, or what we hoped could be, a letting go of that. But there's a fear of moving on to what could be, because we lose our sense of self and structure and identity and familiarity, and so then we have the gift of the 2 cups above. So they are facing down and these are facing up to receive the light, and there's a choice again there between the 3 and the 2. And 5 is about change, shift, conflict, movement, and we grow through challenges and sometimes even through conflict. The other card was a 9 of Cups, and even though this is very beautiful and it's got a rainbow above it, there's all that potential glowing. I felt a tightness in my throat and then a sickness in my solar plexus. There is an overflowing of abundance that's always here, but what's being dissolved is the programming that says there isn't enough, that the system has kept a lot of people in survival and therefore in a lacking frequency, having to work not just one job, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, food prices going up. There's fear being pushed, and that can constrict us and our ability to just tune into ourselves and how we may be thinking or feeling, even to assist in our work. Never mind about on a metaphysical level, how we communicate with ourselves and each other, problem solving even, when we're having to just do, survive, urgency. We don't have that dreaming to reach the top and get a higher, wider perspective and then receive. So there's a lot of cups there that is flowing and overflowing with abundance, but also with that sickness in the throat, there's that communication, the water element of being able to go with the flow, to receive and let go. If we have a thought, if we have an emotion, a feeling, not to get stuck in it, attached in that, but allow that to flow. And we need space for that flow, else we get clogged up, the channel gets clogged up and we get attached. The other card, although it seems a lot came through, was the Four of Pentacles. And again, because it's interesting, so they're stacked up there, but it's kind of in this like almost fence or gate or wall. So there's a dichotomy there of, yes, I've got all this abundance, this wealth, this structure, bodily health, nourishment, but there's also the opposite or parallel juxtaposition is, I need to hold on to this because there may not be something else. We've been programmed, I don't know another word to use, I keep saying programmed, to not see, feel, believe, embrace the potential, the creativity, the abundance that we each are, and the uniqueness of each of us. And so there is that holding structure and that stability. We can then not realize the abundance that is here already. And that's what that card speaks about. I mean, there's beautiful colors there. There's yellow, golden, which goes with the solar plexus. And that solar plexus also connects with the chariot, knowing where we want to go, our direction. And then you've got the pink, which is very nurturing and loving. So how do we nurture ourselves? How do we speak our truth? How do we call in? And because we do sound, divine sings through all of us and all life, and the divine sound is Om. And so how do we connect with that sound vibration? There were 2 more cards that I pulled from this pack. This is absolute divine pack. It's called Mellow Schema Tarot. Was the 8 of Swords, which is really, it really says everything there. It feels like a cage. And then the Knight, which is really the fastest moving knights in the tarot, and is the momentum is creating the path. We are creating the path ourselves. We are creating the momentum. It's not happening to us, though we've experienced that as our reality some more of the time because of being in the physical. But look at that, that's wonderful movement there. And and for me, there's a connection with not just air. I'm not sure, I'm not like a huge tarot expert, because I'm not sure which element this air night could be. But for me, intuitively, and what's been called forth is because it's a very watery reading today, and there's blue. It does feel there is air and water, which is an interesting elemental mix. So we're in the time, and I keep getting this, and every time I keep looking and feeling and hearing the sound of the word, we're in a time of regeneration. Because there's always, in the reality, you say realities, but in the shared experience that we are co-creating here, with humanity and other beings and divine, we are moving into some call New Earth, some call 5D, but I really love the vibration of regeneration. It's like, for me, it's the generation, a new life, a new generation, and regenerating those. So there's it's never too late. This is a feeling. We're moving beyond the limitations of what we believed was physically possible, which goes back to my early thought, reflection on the 4-minute mile. And then another word comes up, which is reflection, because water reflects. But I just kept also feeling it's not as simple as that. Water and areas of water, if you like, lakes, specifically lakes, are like magnifiers and portals, eyes. They are conductors, and we're conductors, which is like, it's very potent. Why at the beginning of this reading, and the first card that I picked, is that we are all channels. Naturally, we are all channels. Last card that I picked was the 7 Star Sisters, the Pleiadians. And the Pleiadians are so connected to Lemuria. And one of the most ancient, on a metaphysical level, one of the 7 star sisters, the Pleiades, is Maya. And she holds the galactic Akashic record in her very being. So we've got a regeneration happening, just to sum up, we've got a regeneration happening within the waters of the world, which we each are. We each are worlds, not just worlds, we each are universes, multiverses, potentially, when we awaken to that. And there's a regeneration with the and a cleansing and a purifying. There's a lot that's being cleared at this time. So key to this is reminding ourselves and each other that there is a divine progression, there is a divine movement, there is a divine process, a mystic, alchemical holding. It is not all haphazard. We're not doing anything wrong. We are expanding out of the limitations that did hold us for a while, and it is going at a rate that is divinely met within each of our souls meeting. Along with the swan, we also have Cygnus, which is, for some might feel like the eye, the center of the Milky Way, and again connects to water. And many have been called to realize the soul, wisdom, vibration, the intelligence, the being that is source. We call water source. And so water isn't just on existing in a physical level. There is presence of source God, hence baptism, to be quite to the point. When we make a commitment, when we are blessed, when we are washed clear, when we connect to the origins of source, we are baptized, we are blessed with water. So water and the awareness of water, and without water we would die. So there is a whole remembering that is occurring with this rebirth, this regeneration. It's interesting with so there's remembering and regeneration. There's a returning. So we are on completion. We are coming to a completion of a massive cycle spiral that includes the Milky Way. So we're moving from a very tight spiral to a very vast spiral, and we are moving inwardly and outwardly, within and externally, microcosm, macrocosm, light and dark. We are being stretched. We are holding so much more. We are being invited to embrace compassionately all aspects, all facets of ourselves, and not to be within the limitations of polarity. Not that polarity is bad. We have been in a cycle where, for our learning, we chose to be in the 3D physical in a certain vibration and pattern. And the programming has pushed and pushed and pushed and condensed and compressed. So like from earth, charcoal to diamond. So we're in that compression. And so now we're more of us of being aware that we're moving into the flow of light, the plasma in water. We are being invited to be the Holy Grail, each of us, that Christ consciousness, opening our hearts to the flow, being in the flow and trusting and being in a different way. And it's very challenging, I am very aware of it, when we're in the in-between. We've got one foot here and one foot somewhere else. It's not solid. We don't know. We're in the unknowing. But when we can embrace that openness, we are held. When we open our hearts and go with the flow, we can connect with the holding of the Holy Grail, the eternal life, the source, the water within, and connect with that joy and exuberance and play and beauty. I've got the word frivolity. And back to all that colour that was in that card. And many, many rainbow bridges. So I think I'll leave it there. So this will give you a bit of a taste of the kind of readings that I will be sharing. They will be all different, but there is a lot of information that is wanting to be called forth at this time. Some of the other readings I will give might be more channeling and less with the cards. This today, I had a lot of cards. I normally don't pull so many cards. I am being guided to complete with light language. Some of you may resonate with that, some of you not. Let it go if you don't. If it doesn't feel right, just end the video. If you do love it, wonderful. It's like with music, some people like some music and others don't. So thank you for coming across this video. I don't know who's going to come across it, which is all rather exciting. So sending us all and connecting to love and asking Divine One through the Lemurian being called Lemurian Sisters of Light, that move through and are in service to healing chambers of the source of water, eternal life. Na ar kut ush kuruki an ar kat ar kukori amanda tiask anar kukoya papata tiana ar katayana or kutush kuruki ar kat anar kupata yanne tu ar hama at har kuktoyat an ar kat mar kutush kurumarikakea Hania hat ikata ar good but ar we are being held by divine ascended ancestors that are in this beautiful frequency that the Lemurians are and the Sisters of Light are holding. We are receiving that nourishment and that regeneration and flow of source. We are being quenched, truly. So many of us may have had periods of weeks, months, years, or even lifetimes of feeling parched in the desert. And now this beautiful flow is coming through us to each other and externally and beneath the inner earth and from the core of Mother Earth and from the center from source and and sun and light and fire and water. They're saying the more that we can connect with the elemental sources that we hold and the connections with the ascended ones and the elementals and maybe the ancestral lineage that some of us, each of us hold, then we will be able to communicate with the elements and the elementals with Earth as we rise up, and as so much is being unearthed, so much is rising up. We, and many of us, are being called to connect with the elements and be guides, be channels, and communicate with water, communicate with the ocean, with rivers and lakes, communicate with the cloud beings, communicate with water within and water externally. Connect with Nun, the source of all life. Many, many, many blessings. Take a deep breath in, hold and breathe out. Many, many blessings.